There's a big fat one, a skinny one, and a medium-sized one.
I love Formula Drift.
No stranger to drifting, no stranger to competition.
That guy stole my freaking ratchet wrench. I see that. That's mine.
He rejects your reality and inserted his own.
This is a stimulator, right?
Pilot. The pole petition.
Matt Shulman still on top with the 69.
Gotcha! Grip this.
Right?
Yeah, and it's on 255, 245.
Oh, you're way off. Whoops.
Whoopsie!
Hey, I'm over here.
Hey, surprise! It's the old camera not focus gag, eh?
Get me in the frame.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Of course we
All
are.
right, we're live. I don't know who.
Live
What
and direct.
camera's on? Whose camera's on what?
Nobody's watching.
Are we watching who? Who are we watching? I don't know.
Watching me.
Could be watching you. Could be watching me. And I just
You're already
wanna,
two. You're already down two.
I'm already down two.
just started.
This is Pat Gooden's fault.
Oh, you're like you're an addict now.
Yeah.
You're addicted.
Yeah, I never liked them before. I never liked them before. And this last trip to
like
Kentucky, I was like,
cocaine.
yeah. You know, I came back from Ford Fest. I'm like, God, I want to twist the tea.
I need another tea.
I was fiending for it. Go to the gas station. I grabbed 2 of the tall cans.
God.
And I'm like, this is pretty good. Had one.
Smash anybody's head in?
Didn't smash anybody's head in yet. Actually, I think there's like CBD in it because it makes you really relaxed. Kind of makes me happy.
Oh, really? I think they would have to report that.
Could be.
Yeah. Have you bothered
I mean,
to check
I-
the ingredients?
Huh?
Have you bothered to check the ingredients?
I don't want to ruin it.
Oh, okay.
It says right here, hard iced tea, and it's twisted tea. That's and 5% alcohol. It's all the ingredients I need to know, buddy.
you go.
Okay. All right. If you say
I think I'm going to replace one of my meals with twisted tea. I'm going to go on a twisted tea diet.
It's not keto. It's
Yeah, it's not
twisted
keto. It's
tea.
twisted tea. I lost 50 pounds on twisted tea.
That's funny.
Anywho,
Yeah.
how you doing, Ben?
I'm good. I was just thinking about how we had, well, actually, before this all came about, we had Ford Fest that took place, and between the last episode and Ford Fest, Paul, just on a crazy frenzy, was like, "We gotta do a show. We gotta do an episode."
Got your show, man. We got your show. We got your show. A lot to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
Well,
I have like 50 topics that we need to get together
topics.
and
Wasn't that 50
discuss
topics?
Hey,
because
it's
there's so
Jacob.
much to say. And I'm
Sorry.
like, okay, all right.
Jacob?
And then,
We'll talk about it in a minute.
Okay.
yeah, all right.
So anyways, yeah, keep going.
You,
I told
what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah,
You were not
well,
like,
it's
everybody-
no more twisted tea.
No more twisted tea.
You're
Yeah,
cut off.
Yeah. You need a
Focus here.
yeah.
Turn that
focus.
off.
Yeah.
No, leave it on. It's fine. I'll stop. I'll control
We'll
myself.
see. Well, every once in a while, we need to know what's going on. We all, in case anybody's wondering why some of these individuals, exactly Tim, might be distracted, it's because we also have. Hang on, let me make sure this is. Well, whatever. We had the Formula Drift live stream going on at the same place, so every once in a while, I'm sure they're gonna. But talking about Formula Drift, we had. Well, Paul had a whole laundry list of items to talk about, and that, I think, got overshadowed completely with the very recent announcement that Chelsea Denofa announces retirement from Formula Drift.
Well,
dropping the bombshell that shook the whole drift community to its
Yeah.
core, and everyone was just like, what is happening? Someone please make sense of this.
Yeah.
Paul, you have some ideas.
I have some ideas. Okay, well, that kind of goes into we can't. I don't think I can go into it at all because it kind of leads into my other topic. So,
Okay, so you want to hold off on that?
I think
right
I want to try to dance around it.
now? Dance, baby, dance.
Right. So he, at first when you sent that, I thought he quit RTR.
And he was going to a different team.
I thought he just quit RTR, and I was like, I didn't know that he was going to do the next round. I'm like, they're just about to do the next round. What do you mean you quit? And then I'm like, that didn't make any sense. So then I looked it up, and okay, so he's quitting after this round.
Mm-hmm.
Watching his video, his statement, right? Because it was a statement. It was
a scripted statement.
Chelsea doesn't do scripted typically,
and it was definitely a scripted
and
statement.
you can tell it was definitely scripted. It seemed very emotional for him. So I mean, it's you guys are looking at this.
No,
I'm trying to take care of something. Relax. Just keep going.
So
stop getting distracted.
He seemed very emotional about it, and you said something weird, which was like he's been held, kind of looked like a terrorist.
Yeah, like you ever seen
a
it?
Terrorist confession
You
video?
need to send $500,000 to.
No,
it almost seemed like that because he was trying to hold back.
No,
but because it was scripted. I've never seen him do any scripted before.
Yeah, and I think he wanted to make sure that he said. He put thought and time into what he was going to say,
right,
and made sure everything was covered, right? Because that's kind of a
it's a very professional way to do it. Absolutely,
try to be as professional as possible. So, you could see that he was very emotional about it, and he didn't really say what he was going to do. I mean, Chelsea's been doing this since he was 16, 15, 14 years old.
Yeah,
he's been pouring his whole life into this. So. He's maybe quitting FD, but he's not quitting.
I can't see him leaving drifting.
He's not leaving drifting. I don't see that. I don't see him leaving drifting.
Yeah. So and that's the thing that was kind of interesting to watch because you could see how emotional he was, and I'm almost like, what is he doing? Like it must be something to pull him away from it, and that's why I sent him a message on our DM like, sad to see you leave. And what a way to leave, too. Like, I mean, if you're going to go, he's going out
in contention.
Yeah, in contention to take the champion. I mean, if he can pull it off, which I don't see why he couldn't unless something happens.
It's great like way what it reminds me of is Khabib. Kind of like with
in UFC.
Like not hanging out there
long enough to be a stepping stool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you get to that point where you become the stepping stool. Like when you see that in fighting,
like
right?
Chris Forsberg.
Right, Chris Forsberg. I mean, he was at the top of his game. Von Gittin, and they're legends in the sport, but they're not as prominent. Well, I can't say they're not as prominent because they do bring a lot to the sport. But what I'm saying is they're not as threatening as they once were. Does that make sense?
I think Asbo speaks about it, about how he, and I think he did it recently in a video where he spoke about how it's hard for him to, after the 2 wins, to continue to still want to win. It loses its luster, or loses its, I guess,
you lose the
hunger for it, or the
drive,
the drive. You lose your drive, but it's that unattainable thing that you never
it's like
got.
After 3 twisted teas, you're like,
twisted teas.
I don't know if I want a 4th, but that's really not the case. I want a 4th.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different case. You're addicted. We gotta have an intervention, but that's gonna be for another episode.
We'll have Pat host an intervention.
We need to host an intervention for him and Pat now. Yeah, Twisted Tea intervention, or get a sponsorship. One of the two. Make it worthwhile, I guess. No, so what he said is it's a conflict between his schedule, right?
Yeah.
For next year. So, I mean, we had the same thing with Adam this year, right? He had a conflict in his schedule, so he only competed half the year. I'm assuming that I haven't heard anything from Adam, but I'm assuming we won't hear from. I mean, Adam probably won't be competing next year either,
right?
Because Adam seems to be more fully invested in his Adam World Tour.
Aussie World Tour, yeah.
Yeah. So with that, is Chelsea doing something with Adam? I mean, they live close together. I know they do a lot together. I mean, I think Chelsea's been doing the World Tour as well, or
he only did Ireland.
He only did Ireland,
and in that round he went in as a judge.
Gotcha. Okay, well, so maybe he wants to do more of that, or maybe he wants to do what I really wanted to bring up, but I don't know if we want to go there yet.
Go for it.
So, Drift Masters, with the last round in Drift Masters, is he? I mean, that when I saw the stadium full and just the crowd screaming, that's got to be the biggest like ego pump, like just like shock to the system when you have like a roaring stadium full to the nosebleed with drifting fans. And to me, what I think is that Adam came back from that and is like, dude, we need to go do this. We need to figure it out. Whatever we want to do, we need to go there, because this was like next level. And Adam's a businessman, and Dave Egan's a businessman. And them two together, and maybe they worked out a deal with Chelsea, to come over.
Which was one of the things that you said. Is it okay if I repeat what you said?
Yeah, I guess.
Is FD going to be relevant much longer?
Yeah, that's another topic that I want to bring into, because there seems to be. I don't know if I want to step into that right now, but with everything that Driftmasters was in that last Poland event, that was just like, what is it, a polarizing? The last event was polarizing. It really set a precedent.
Yeah.
That
it showed what's achievable. It showed what can happen.
It's not just so there's a lot of different things. It's the way they run the event. You think we're fast as far as when we do LS Fest type thing, how they run the line, how quickly we move through the competition. They move even faster.
Well, yeah, Nick Swan in the last episode, did you see it?
Yeah.
Because you weren't there, he talked about that, how like as fast as we go at LS Fest, which is pretty quick.
Yeah.
That even that was too slow for what they would expect David Egan to. He's like, before they even get to the line, you need to know the winner. It's a competition, but it's a show, and he orchestrates everything. So
and that's crazy. It's like as the cars are going around the track, freaking fireworks are going off around every turn. As explosions happening, they have a giant screen right in the center. It was, as much of a monster like jam.
Yep, exactly.
Type of event that I could ever see. And to me, it was like, okay, maybe this is it. Even though I didn't really enjoy it, because to me and the cars, and if you look at the cars seem much more stiff than like FD cars. FD cars look like they have more mechanical grip. These cars, I call them like RC cars. It looks like RC car drifting to me. It's way too smooth.
It's much slower though too.
No, that's the problem. It isn't.
What do you mean it's not? In that stadium,
the grip of the tires they're using are much more grippy than what FD uses. Adam went to say that if he had to use these tires in FD, they would need like a lot. They said they couldn't slide. He wouldn't be able to slide Irwindale with those tires on the Mustang.
But what I'm saying is, they're in an oval. There's not enough.
Yeah, that was a slower track, but doesn't mean just because of that. That was a slower track.
Yeah, that's right.
But they do faster tracks. But even when they're in faster tracks, it's still their cars stay relatively level. They're not like if you watch it, you compare their cars, watch the suspension travel, and then compare an FD car. The FD car's suspension are moving way more than a drift games.
I don't know. I still think Formula Drift
Driftmasters car.
I still think the Formula Drift is like the cars and the way they're set up.
What I'm saying is there's more engineering in an FD car than there is in a Driftmasters car.
Okay.
But the Driftmasters car they have higher grip because of the tire. So they're like, you remember how we used to set up cars as stiff as hell. Their cars are very stiff because they need to break loose on those freaking super grippy tires. So I think their tire is grippier, but their suspension is not set up as grippy as like an FD car is.
So it's not as engineered as well. It's a give and take. So
my thing is that if you sent an RTR car over there with those tires, or brought those tires over here and competed through it on an RTR car, I think they would have trouble driving the car. They would either need to raise the horsepower or stiffen it up.
Right, because there's a where the mechanical grip in the actual.
Well, Gabby was fighting with it the other day. Is that he?
I think Gabby had problems with his gas pedal. I think he was having that. I think that's where his problems.
But I'm just saying, there's problems where you can dial grip in mechanically, and you can dial grip in with the tire. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think based on my review of watching Drift Masters and watching Formula Drift and comparing what the differences are with the cars, because they're both very fast. Because that's definite. You watch some of these Drift Masters, they're flying.
Yeah, well,
but the difference is when you watch the tandems are a lot smoother because the cars aren't as mechanically gripped up and unstable. The cars are much smoother at angle because the cars are very stiff. And if you have a stiffer car, it's like sliding. It's smoother, right?
I mean, I guess I don't
So
know.
that's just my 2 cents about it. I mean, I could be completely wrong because I don't have any experience in neither of the cars. But I think Chelsea's got back some word from Adam, like this was crazy over there, because Adam basically went over to dip his toes in at the last event to see what happened or see how it is. I mean, why would he do that? He wasn't just showing up for clout. Well, he didn't even qualify.
Yeah, but the thing is also with his relationship with Dave over the last year or so has grown as well.
Yeah, but
Dave came over here for the LC Invitational.
Yeah, but it wasn't great publicity to go out there and not even qualify. Like, I mean, if you're thinking about it, do I really want to jump in at the last event? I think he really just wanted to see what it was like competing in that and seeing what the difference was, and then being there and doing that. It was I think it was enlightening to him. He came back and told Chelsea and to me that's what I think. Doesn't mean it could be complete bullshit.
Yeah,
but
I mean, but Chelsea got something going on, obviously, because it's got to be big enough to pull him away from Formula Drift.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And that's where we roll into the next kind of topic that I wanted to bring up is this like a lot of people. There was a post on the Maximum Drift Cast about, hey, is this bigger than FD? It's just like, look at what they're bringing in. And I don't know who told me, but somebody was saying that, FD really needs to make these changes to the rule book to speed up the process of the show, because there's so many times they're waiting for protest or
it's just the whole show has always been full of downtime.
The 5-minute, 10-minute timeout type stuff.
Well, that's not even the problem with Formula Drift. They have so many other things that downtime. I mean, as well as I do. We've been to several Formula Drift events, and it's like dragged on and on and on.
Yeah, yeah. So to me, I was looking at this and I'm like, because Ryan Sage was chatting to these guys. Oh, we're looking to make some changes for next year.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's scared.
Ryan Sage?
Yeah.
Could be.
I think he's scared.
Or he just realizes we got to do something different. But this is stuff that we've been saying for like 10 years now, or 12 years. That they need to do something. They're going to lose their relevance. That's my thing. Yeah.
You can't. It's like. But you saw it with. I mean, there's a lot of different things that have happened over the years. Like, what was like Pride?
Clutch Kickers even. Clutch Kickers. When Clutch Kickers came out, the show was pretty quick. It wasn't dragged on.
No.
But we actually kind of was dragged on a little bit because we did qualifying
but we did fast.
They did it pretty fast, much faster than Formula Drift. Yeah. They had a lot of cars.
But what I'm saying is that some things come and go, and I think we're seeing the end of an era with Formula Drift now. I'm not saying they're going to completely be gone, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to say they're going to take second or third. They're going to take second place to the premiere.
Yeah, are they going to admit that? Probably not.
Well, they don't have to admit it. It's not their choice. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm seeing taking place right now is that Drift Masters has now just taken that step over Formula Drift and put Formula Drift in a reaction, because to see him react to it and say, yes, we're going to make a change because of this, this other series, that's like if you're number one, you set the bar. Set the bar. You don't follow. You're setting the bar, and that's what Drift Masters is doing. They're setting the bar, and now Formula Drift is now going to try to come under and match them. And that's what, to me, put now Drift Masters. And I don't even like Drift Masters as far as watching it. Mm-hmm. And you know that, and Gabby knows that. But just seeing it, and I could see this is way more entertaining for the fans.
Right.
To me, it seems like they're putting together people that people want to see. Right. They got Adam. Isn't Jimmy Oaks over there now too? Mm-hmm. So they're putting together people, and if Chelsea really goes there, these are people that you want to watch drive.
Right.
The reason I turn on FD is to see, okay, I want to see Chelsea drive.
Right.
I like to see Forrest Wayne drive. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to see a couple of guys drive. Once they're done, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, it seems like he's putting together. Okay, I'm putting together
a monster truck list.
Yeah. Or
a grave digger, a Bigfoot.
A WWE list,
right,
a WWF list. I'm putting together guys that have personality.
Yeah.
That drive hard. Mm-hmm. Whether Jimmy Oaks is like very personable guy, gets a lot of people on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Adam's the same way.
Yeah.
Chelsea people like because he's straight, off the cuff.
Yeah.
But he tells it how it is. So it's gathering more people like that and building a series. I think that's based on the show that they're going to be the number one spot. And I think Formula Drift is scared.
Is Formula Drift scared? Formula Drift, are you scared? Brian Sage, are you shaking in your boots? Is that true? Or do you realize that you're gonna have to step up your game?
Well, because this is gonna be really something big. If Chelsea steps away and actually goes to Drift Masters, that's gonna set a precedent. That okay, well,
who else might leave?
Yeah, who else is gonna go?
Yeah,
is Oswald going to go over there? Because it's a lot easier for him to go over there.
Yeah, he's already over there.
Yeah,
he doesn't have to travel over here. And so that's. But see, another thing with comparing Formula Drift to Poland, that event where they had 50,000 spectators.
Okay, I understand what you're going to say.
Okay,
but go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What am I going to say? I mean, you're probably right. You probably know what I'm going to say because you know me well enough. What am I going to say?
No, you're going to say they have nothing better to do than watch it from it.
It's not what I was going to say.
Okay, what were you going to say? What are you laughing at? He gets so upset.
Well, I mean, you didn't even let me talk. Oh, okay. What I was going to say is that it's a different mentality in sports over there, right? For instance, when they play certain sports, everybody shows up. They're more serious fans over there. You don't think so? Over here, America does. There's so I don't know if it's because there's so many different things to do, right? Or it's just such a big country. But what I'm saying is that when you get a lot of people to turn out, I think much easier over there for these events because they make festivals out of it, and the fans themselves are more diehard fans than over here. You have people that kind of go and we're included in that. Like we'll go to a Formula Drift event if it's local. It's too hot. We'll go watch it on TV. We don't tough it out. You go over to the Europeans when they're rally or watching rally. People come out and line all the racetrack and not something that you'd see too often over here. So I'm just saying, like the mentality of the average fan over there is more supportive than the mentality of the average fan.
I don't know if you.
I think around here, most people. Well, I'll just watch it from home. I'm not going to fly out.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think there's that many people in Poland. I don't think there's more drift fans in Poland than there is in the United States.
There's not. But my point is that's what I'm saying. They got 50,000 people to show up in Poland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to get my point.
No, I'm saying they're not going to get 50. I'm saying the fans in Poland are more diehard than they are in the States. So you're going to have a harder time getting 50,000 people to fill a stand, to fill a stadium here than you would in Poland. I think that's my opinion.
No, I think if you bring the right people, if you bring the right influencers, like it's simple. Look. You would say,
well, they have them on Formula Drift, and they don't do it.
Look at this.
They have those same.
What's a great example? What's a great example is Orlando and Adam. Okay, drifting was nowhere as big as it is now in Orlando and that's 100% due to Adam. That's 100% due to Adam. I mean, they have private days full. They have, there's 90 drivers at every one of these little freaking OSW events. Right now, they're trying to figure out how to make it get less people there. So they're going to cut out A. They're only going to do A and B.
Yeah, but you think that's all because of Adam?
Yeah, I think a lot of it had to do with Adam being in the area and adding influence. Okay,
yeah, I agree.
So
I'm
not saying every person that shows up is for Adam. Obviously, that's not true.
But what I'm saying is, do you think that the only reason 50,000 people showed up in Poland is because Adam was going to be there?
I'm sure a lot of people showed up because Adam's going to be there.
And you don't think they would have put 50,000?
How many people? I mean, people love these influencers, man.
I know they do, but I don't. So basically, what you're saying is, if Adam LZ wasn't there, it wouldn't have been the show it was. And
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's the package. It's the package. Adam brings little people. This guy brings little people. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's having the roster, mm-hmm. or the pack. I mean, it's like when artists sell out a concert hall, mm-hmm. or a arena. You could have a smaller artist that can't fill that arena, mm-hmm. but there you have a certain amount of the correct amount of artists or the correct artist. They'll pack the whole arena.
Yeah,
like Taylor Swift, she'll pack a whole damn arena and two more.
Mm-hmm.
It's the show.
Mm-hmm.
So people will show up when the show's there. When you don't have a show, and FD does not have a show.
Okay, so
they are running a motorsports event.
So it's not, but it's not. I don't think it's any one of those things. I think it's a mixture of drift games. Well, you can kind of make it seem that way, but you're saying drift games. Drift games they have it down. Their live streams have been great for a long time. Their production live streams that they've been doing for a long time have been, the standard.
Credit to Red Bull.
Yeah, definitely the standard, because for a long time their streams have been better than Formula Drifts, right? Doing the Riga circuit. I mean, you watch it. So their events, they have that dialed in. Riga, sorry. Yeah. Whatever. Anyways, so their events have been dialed in, so they're able to get that dialed in and make it exciting and make it where there's no downtime, and then just adding these influencers on top of it. It's a recipe for success.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's.
No, you said if Adam wasn't there, they wouldn't have that many people.
No, I didn't say
That's
that.
What you said.
I said
That's
Adam
what I heard.
brings certain people.
He does.
Adam brings certain people. That's what I'm saying. People. It's the combination that they bring. They have a great production. They throw great events. Mm-hmm. They throw entertaining events, mm-hmm. and then Adam is also there. It's like it's 3 for 1, 2 for 1.
Icing on top of the cake.
It's just icing on top of the cake. So they bring Chelsea in. They bring another guy in.
But they've had Adam and all them when they did the Drift Masters in Canada, didn't they?
That wasn't Drift Masters.
Wait, no, that wasn't. That was LZ. Maybe
LZ World Tour.
What did they do at Drift Masters that had Adam? I mean, they don't get 50,000 people at every event. Is that the first one in Poland where they had all the star-studded cast of drivers?
No.
So they've had that star-studded cast of drivers before.
Yeah, but
and they didn't get 50,000. That's what I'm saying.
The majority of the competitors that were a part of the Poland event were involved or took part in the other rounds.
Okay, and were the other rounds as successful as Poland?
Depends on what kind of metric you want to use. Like, if you want to say that did they bring the same amount of people, I don't think so, because I say that because then why were they making it going out of the way to make it like the number one or the biggest event, mm-hmm. spectator wise, in the world for that Poland event? Meaning that from what I took from it is that was the event that brought out the most amount of people in one round compared to the other rounds.
And they seemed like they knew it, because they knew they were going to go to the stadium, and they
have a couple things going on. You have Adam that's going to show up, right?
Yeah.
Then you have,
but they were at the other events.
But you also had the last round. Like right now, the most amount of people are going to show up for Irwindale, because Irwindale is the last round. It's the decision of the championship. That same Poland round was the championship decision. So you had a lot of things going on. Mm-hmm. Like I said, like you said, it was the complete package. It was the complete package that brought in 50,000. The problem is that 50,000 actually came, and that's what changed a lot for me. Mm-hmm. Is like, to me, like I really wasn't, like, okay, Drift Masters, whatever. I don't like watching it.
You just saw, for me watching it, what I did watch of it is that I was like, it's the monster trucks. We've been talking a long time. It's in a stadium. This is just like, boom, see? There you go. We've been saying this for a long time. This is going to be the future of drifting. If drifting wants to pack the stands, and they want to have just somebody that just wants to go to a crazy event and see fire shooting up, and they do that at monster trucks too. Yeah. Fire shooting up and fireworks going off as cars are barreling around the track. Right. They're making a show. Well, it's not wrestling because you don't have the drivers talking smack. And,
no, but I'm saying
but if you add that to it, that'd even be better. But monster trucks, they don't really do that. So this is more of the monster truck thing.
Yeah, and monster trucks bring a decent amount of people to stadiums.
Yeah, they pack stadiums all the time everywhere they go.
Yeah. So the thing about it is they need to make it to where, I can bring my kids to a drifting event.
Yeah, it's loud, crazy.
Yeah,
you get to hear these cars run, smoke, and the kids are going to love it and make a day of it. Yeah. You go to a stadium, every seat's a good seat for the most part.
Yeah. That's the thing. So it's taking it from this serious racing event, which maybe that's what, Chelsea sees in it. Because I don't think Chelsea really likes the seriousness of the drift events at FD. I don't know, I may be wrong, but Chelsea always seemed more like he just really wants to have fun driving.
Well, he said that like there's a balance for driving the way he wants versus driving
the
to
way
win.
He's supposed to be.
Right. So there's driving the way he wants to drive versus driving to be able to take a championship. And he's fighting. He's constantly in conflict. That's the reason because he's like, I know I want to drive this way. I want to throw it in reverse, but that's not going to win the competition. So if I want a competition, I have to change the way I drive. And I'm sure that's
consistency.
It's consistency, but it also, I'm sure he's like, I don't like doing this. I want to be crazy. I want to drive my own style.
That's what made Chelsea.
Right.
Is that, Chelsea's going to throw it in crazy, and he's just going to be Chelsea. It is what it is. And that's I think this would give him that freedom to be more of himself. Yeah. That's another reason I think that this could be a possibility.
Because it's not necessarily by him winning a champion, it's just him being there that adds something for the fans and the spectators. Be like, I know Chelsea, something's exciting is going to happen. Chelsea's going to drive. Yeah. We know something's going to go crazy.
And I think he knows. I think he feels like with that tire, he can do a lot with, and not have to have such a crazy suspension on a car.
If that's indeed what he's doing.
If that's what he's doing, yeah. Maybe
he's having a kid. You never know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. That you know as well as I do. Family, takes precedence. Yeah, and sometimes it pulls you out for a little bit. Family. We talked about family last time.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. I don't think he's having a kid.
I'm wearing the shirt.
Oh, that's true.
Family.
Just a couple of notes. I just wanted to mention that going back to Ellis Fest and how that is running, I feel like we can the group that's formed together, that Nick Swan has formed together, I think we're more than capable of speeding up the process. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of whether or not everyone would be in agreement to speed up the process. Because everybody, for the most part, feels the event shouldn't be taken that serious. Because it isn't. It's not supposed to be. It's really a way for you to kind of like take it as an exhibition, even though there's a competition element.
There's competition, but there's no points attached to it. So there's no long-term effects if you don't qualify high.
But I think if it was a matter of, or if we have to sort of make the switch to say like, hey, look, we need to make it more of a show, speed up the process and all of that. I honestly think we can accomplish that.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think we have the right team to make that happen. I just don't, in my opinion, I just don't see the incentive to want to do that. Because then obviously
not with LS Fest.
Not with LS Fest, right. Because then it sort of then changes the mindset, changes the attitude, and I feel like it'll probably create a lot more stress in surrounding the event to try to make it go as fast as possible.
Well, it goes pretty quick. Sorry,
that's all right.
Twisted tease. Anyways, but I think that if you make it the thing is, I don't think you can really make it a point series because you're only limited. Well, it's not really limited, right? There's still a lot of drivers that come out, but you have to have an LS platform, right? So with LS Fest, I don't know if that will ever happen. LS Fest is going to be what it is, and it's going to be a brand new competition at every event, and there's going to be a champion at each competition. It's not going to be a point series. But to your point, I think absolutely. I think we have the team that is capable of doing drift games type of events, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I don't know. We have to get a pyrotechnician and stuff like that, but we could do it.
Yeah. We could definitely do it. Mm-hmm. But
strap some firecrackers to the back of cars. Hey.
Sparklers.
Sparklers. Start with sparklers.
Yeah. But to kind of go back to some of the points that Paul laid out, I just think I had a discussion about this with a very prominent figure in the drifting community about it.
Who's this?
I'll tell you more later.
Oh, okay.
It was sort of we sort of came into an agreement with the way how Formula Drift has been running things, and there's been a lot of talk about
ruining or running.
Running.
Oh, okay.
Running, same thing.
But there's been a lot of talk about what Formula Drift has been doing and what they hopefully plan to do for the next year, and if they're going to make the necessary changes and the risk in order to be able to accomplish what they want to do, which is to kind of change the format of the show and run a show and everything.
Well, they are. They added another announcer to the show, so there's dialogue.
Right. And I think that you're starting to see a lot of the changes take place because now you have Ryan Sage, who's running the show. And he's sort of, I mean, it's very evident that he has a very different mindset on how things should be running. Mm-hmm. And to their credit, they're really open to trying different things. And you're seeing it with, even though some of it may seem crazy or just doesn't make sense to me, like the betting thing that's going on.
What?
They have a betting thing?
Yeah, where you could bet on who you think they're gonna.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They have an app or something. Don't they have an app or something?
No, you go like on a website or something, and you place
betting
your
money.
Bets. I'm gonna assume
yes.
Running
a gambling operation.
Something like that.
Okay.
I don't really know. But
I didn't know about that.
They're really trying out different things, and if you wanna maybe
call me later.
No, but if. You for a long period of time you had a different individual, Jim Lau, running the show, and for a long time it may have seemed like they became stagnant. Mm-hmm. They're very, very reluctant to make any sort of changes, and we've spoken about it. Tim, you've definitely brought it up at length several times how they've sort of delayed or extended the event for maybe unnecessary reasons.
I don't know how many times I've turned off the stream because it's going to go on for another hour because of stupidity.
Right.
You know, it's so...
Yeah, and I understand that. And you have to wonder, are they under the obligation to extend it to be able to run the ads, to be able to pay for all of the expenses that they do? Mm-hmm. The live stream, the event, whatever expenditures that they have to do in order to make the event happen.
And that's my thing, where I go back to... Find the influential people that you want. Make it an exhibition. Have them have two cars. So if they freaking crash and dump the other one in the wall, grab number two. And you just keep running the event. Forget about this, like, oh, he's out. Well, I guess, what sucked about the last round of LS Fest is that we didn't get to see them go against each other. It was so hype.
Yeah.
It was there. And even Nernan had to go throw his own parade party because he didn't get to have one.
Yeah. Right.
And that's the sad part. We're throwing a show. We're bringing a show. It needs to be a show.
Yeah, but asking the drivers to bring two cars. I mean, that's
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, RTR has 15 cars.
Well,
so cars are not a problem
for them. For that one driving team.
But I'm saying it's there. It can happen. Mm-hmm. It can happen. It's just a matter of building it. Build it and they will come.
Right. and I think another aspect that has played in Driftmaster's favor is that if you look at their marketing for an extended period of time, if you take a look at their marketing, I think they've done a much better job of hyping up the events than Formula Drift has. I just think that in many ways, they've done sort of been able to kind of build up the sort of the drama, the excitement, the hype for the series. I mean, and again, that's definitely debatable. It really comes down to like what you want to look at.
They do have a YouTube presence where Formula Drift, other than their podcast now, they really don't have a YouTube presence.
Not too much.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Formula Drift's YouTube presence versus Drift Games' YouTube presence.
Well, of
Drift
course,
Masters,
because
right?
one of the deals that they had to do with Red Bull is that their live streams, they go straight to the Red Bull application.
Wait, who?
So,
you're talking about Formula Drift?
I'm talking about Drift Masters.
Right.
So that's why, in many ways, I can understand why Formula Drift has a much higher YouTube presence than Drift Masters.
I thought it was the other way around. I'm saying
the other way around.
Wait, what?
Other way around.
Saying Drift Games,
right?
And the
huge.
crew that runs Drift Masters has more.
David
Internet
Egan
clout.
is a YouTube personality. Ryan Sage is not.
Well, of course, yes.
That's what we're saying.
That's what you're saying. Okay.
We're saying that Drift Masters, Drift Games, right? Kind of same thing.
Well, Drift Games is no.
You got to be able to distinguish it.
No, but what I'm saying isn't Dave Egan Drift Games?
Yes, he's Drift Games.
So that's what I'm saying. He has a lot of clout with the YouTube and Drift Games that builds up Drift Masters.
Yes.
It adds to Drift Masters.
I didn't know. I heard
Formula Drift doesn't have that.
Yeah, I heard of Drift Masters from Dave Egan Drift Games.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Formula Drift only has Formula Drift. There is no
personality.
YouTube personality behind Formula Drift. Ryan Sage isn't a YouTube personality. Jared Deanna is not a YouTube personality. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You were talking about ads and publicity. That's ads and
David
publicity.
Egan is
ads and
even
publicity.
if he didn't do Drift Masters, he's still a relevant figure in drifting world because of Drift Masters and all this crazy stuff that they do.
Drift Games.
Drift Games. Yeah, I'm sorry, Drift
to counter
Games.
your point, I found out about it differently. So
Okay.
you said you found out about
Through Dave
Drift
Egan.
Masters to Drift Games.
Yes.
I found out about Drift Games to Drift Masters.
Yeah, because you guys were. I don't really give a crap about other drift events, other places.
I didn't either.
But so to me, I like. Well, I'm not going to go like even the what is the Russian one? The Russian one, I was like, I must have rushed like 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, this is stupid. I'm not going to watch this.
This is boring. I don't like it.
This is horrible.
Where's the fire cannons?
No, but so to me, like you were talking about advertising, that they do a better job advertising. Not do they just do a good job advertising? They have many people. They have Adam. They have Dave Egan on his Drift Games channel promoting the events.
We're not even in the same country, and we know all about their stuff. We know everything that's going on. Right? They do a darn good job. Dave Egan is here on Drift Weeks. He was at Clutch Kickers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making his presence felt. He saw the need to make his presence felt to capture the American audience.
That's another thing.
Did.
That's another thing is that he reaches out to other events and shows love.
Yes.
You don't see Formula Drift. Formula Drift would be, ugh.
Yeah,
I'm not coming to your event.
I'm not coming to your event. I will not be at Clutch Kickers.
The other series.
The other. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Right. Jared Deanna. Oh, there's those drivers in that other series. Yeah, David. He doesn't do it. He came over here. He did Drift Games. He was in Canada. He was over in the States. He was over in Orlando with LZ in Clutch Kickers. Exactly right. He came over here and he didn't come over here to make his to really. I don't know if he. I mean, I guess it's like it's all in one package, right? He's kind of promoting himself, but at the same time, he's showing that hey, I'm a drifter too. He's actually so that's another big difference too. Is Dave Egan is one of us. Mm-hmm. He's one of us, right? Yeah, Ryan Sage isn't. Ryan Sage is a businessman. He's never been a driver that I know of. Maybe he got behind a wheel a couple times, but he's not a driver. Jared Deanna is not a driver.
None of them are drifters.
None of them are drifters. They are just businessmen, right? So they're running Formula Drift as a business. They're not running it as a driver. David Egan is a driver. He knows what it is to be a driver. He knows what it is when a competition is going on. So people respect him. Drivers respect him. So if he says, hey, listen, we're going to do it this way, it's people like, well, I know he's a driver. Like he's like Nick Swan said, it's from a driver's perspective. And that's why Nick Swan surrounds himself with drivers. So you got to also look at that aspect too. So when people see Drift Games and then David Egan come over here, they embrace it. And I think that is not that it's saying that he's using that to his advantage, but it's helping him in a way that I think isn't going to happen in Formula Drift because it's like he's got that street cred. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. The other point that I wanted to bring up is that for the longest time, you probably felt that. Well, I definitely felt that Formula Drift has been stagnant, and part of the reason is that they really didn't have a competitor to want to push them to improve and do better.
I can tell you firsthand that I've talked to several people that have personally talked to the Formula Drift staff about making changes, and were dead set in their mind that no, we're going to do it the way we want to do it. Nobody can tell us how to do our show. And they're going to do what they want to do it because obviously we're doing what we know what we're doing because it's working for us, right? But at the same time, they are the Premier Series, and so they don't feel, like you said, they're not pushed to change.
Now
they're pushed to change, and now they're like, oh crap, we should have done something. They should have done it a long time ago. People have been telling them to do it for a long time, but they just didn't want to listen. Now when somebody like Dave Egan comes out with Drift Masters showing them that, yeah, you should have changed a long time ago. People have been seeing the evolution of drift needs to go a certain way, and you just have not been listening. You're going to either get with the program or you're going to fall behind.
Yeah, it's crazy to see Ryan Sage in the chat trying to talk with people and engage with people and say, we're going to make changes. We're going to make definite better for next year.
But he's been known to do that, though, for the longest time.
Yeah, he was in U.S. Drift Circuit.
I heard that.
Yeah. Drift Circuit. Anyways, he's had drift games Drift Masters not done that event and showed him the possibilities of it. He would have never said he needs to change. Only reason why he's saying he needs to change is because he's seeing the money. He's seeing the cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. He's like, wow, we need to do something. I don't think it's anything to do for the drivers I think it's all about money.
Yeah.
He saw 50,000 people. We're going to make some changes. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Absolutely could be wrong. But like I said, I know firsthand people have told them, listen, you should make these changes. We should start doing this a little different. And them kept saying no and no and no. And now all of a sudden they want to make changes?
I think it was...
The proof's in the pudding.
Noel was kind of trashing on them on Facebook.
Holy one?
Yeah, the Holy One. was trashing on them on Facebook. And I think Gabriel told me that actually Ryan responded.
No, he didn't. Did he really?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Well, I don't remember what he said. That's what I'm saying. But they said they were going to make some changes.
You pull it up.
Yeah.
Sure, I could. But yeah, they said they were going to make some changes for next year, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's great," But it's like,
is it too little, too late?
That's my thing.
Well, Chelsea leaving. If anybody else decides to leave,
that's what I'm saying. It's like
because they don't have a massive driver field.
The thing I'd be worried about, and I'm sure I would assume Chelsea told him what he was going to do. I don't know if they have contracts. They may have contracts. Who knows? If Formula Drift was smart, they would have a non-compete contract where you would have to. That. You can't. You can do whatever you want. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why would you? As a driver, why would you sign it? Why would you sign a non-compete because say you can't go?
It's a Premier.
Doesn't matter. Look at soccer. Those guys freaking go play with all different teams all the time.
Contracts too.
They have contracts.
Yeah,
but they play with other teams all the time. There's no non-compete.
Hang on.
Well, not different teams.
There's
different leagues.
Listen. There's a way how they can do non-compete that isn't non-compete. They basically put up the buyout offer extremely high.
Yeah, you can buy it out.
And it's been possible. I mean, it's happened before.
Formula Drift ain't paying nobody nothing.
I understand that.
No, and that's the only way they can do it.
What
are you talking about?
No, people to work for me have to sign a non-compete. It's not a smart thing
Formula
to do.
Drift drivers don't work for Formula Drift.
Yes, they do.
They compete.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm sure they have some kind of contract in there.
I'm sure they have a contract.
Yeah, they have. I'm not sure if it's a full non-compete, but I'm sure there's something in there where it has some kind of stipulation. Maybe he already worked it out. Maybe he had to compete for a certain amount of years before he could get his way out.
Maybe sign somebody else's name. No, I didn't sign that. Look, it's not my name.
No.
That's my wife's name.
But I'm saying, I mean,
it's the same name. Oh, man.
In business, there's always contracts to protect the business.
Right.
Okay? It's a business.
It's the same way how there's you can't defame Formula Drift in any way, shape, or form. There's that stipulation.
That's different though than a non-compete, saying that you're not allowed to compete in any other championship series.
It's different, but what we're trying to get at is sort of this general same idea where it's like they can set the rules and the drivers they can either abide by it or just leave.
I don't think a non-compete is going to help them. I
would agree with that.
At this point, you're saying that I can't go compete in another competition? That's ridiculous. I'm not going to sign that. You'll see the drivers fly. You'll see drivers leading Formula Drift. Some won't because they just love Formula Drift. It's close to them and they're used to doing it.
I don't know if I've heard anybody. I love Formula Drift.
Oh, Forsberg ain't leaving Formula Drift.
I got
Formula Drift.
Yeah, there we go. Oh. Okay.
I love Formula Drift. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody die hard for Formula Drift. I think that's the premier series, right? So that's where they compete. And if you're in America, Formula Drift is the premier. But what happens if freaking Driftmaster steps into America? Now, trust me, Formula Drift, the big what if. Formula Drift will make it hard for them, obviously. Make it very hard for them to get in. Because Formula Drift already does that now with the blackouts for the track. The track cannot have other drift events in a certain time before and a certain time after. They black out the track. The track cannot have any events around it, which is I thought was weird because they always have an OSW event, so I don't know how that flies under the radar. But either way, I guess competitions would be out of the thing. But either way, so yeah, Formula Drift has blackouts, and I'm sure if Dave Egan came over here with any kind of, and I'm surprised they haven't done anything with. I'm assuming with Adam LZ, he could be testing out with Adam LZ. The World Tour could be just a test.
Oh,
could be.
It could be a test because Dave Egan's there, right, at the World Tours.
I hate to bring up. You see this right here? Look, watch this. Matt Field literally taking out James Dean. Literally taking out James Dean.
Holy cow!
What a douchebag. Oh yeah, it's okay. I'd have punched him in his damn face. Big ass nose. I got a big ass nose too.
Okay, well,
hang on. Let me rewind to that.
That was I was watching earlier. That is not cool. Look, there's no reason he should have hit him, and he freaking destroyed him.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What the hell was he thinking during practice? Yeah,
that was practice.
Get the freaking hell out of here. I'd punch him right in his damn mouth. Freaking slamming into me like that, slamming me into the wall.
Wow.
Anyways.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
That's crazy. Hey, it's Chelsea's twin.
Anyways, yeah. So So you think that Adam LZ is?
That could be.
It's a tester.
Could be a tester to make the world. Maybe Drift Masters become world, and it's like, okay, let's do this.
Maybe they can accomplish what FD tried and failed at.
That's something that we've been talking about. What the future of drifting is and what it's going to be, and you see now more than ever these one-day competitions, these exhibitions.
That's
right.
That's the World Tour. It's an exhibition.
Exactly, it's exhibition. They get a lot of people turn out for just an exhibition because all these drivers, you start doing this person versus this person, which you kind of did for the Formula Drift, right? I saw that they, these drivers versus these drivers, this driver did, and build up that anticipation of which driver is going to battle this driver, like WWE or wrestling or whatever they do, or UFC. You build up the hype where fans want to see these two drivers do battle, and you do these exhibitions. And does it really matter about the points at the end of the day? At the end of the day, it's about the show, giving the spectators something to watch, and making it a show. And that's where it's going to be profitable, and then everybody profits off of it. The drivers do good because they're for followers. They're happy to see them battle live in person. It's better for everybody, right? It's a judge sport. There's always going to be that judging aspect that's going to keep it from being like a NASCAR or Formula One. You know what I'm saying, or like a rally, because that's a time sport. That's like you either get the time or you don't. With drifting, that's where it's going to have to be, just like boxing or UFC. That's a judge sport too. Unless you demolish the other person, you knock them out, or you submit them, it comes down to the judges. And you see a lot of times where you see in fighting competitions where you're like, how did that person win? Or the champion, if it's close, the champion takes it. And I think that's a way that if Formula Drift wants to step up their game, that's what they need to shoot for. And I think Drift Masters prove that. Yeah, the theory's been proven. That's basically what I'm saying.
But the question is that are they going to go and risk it? Run the risk of
what do they got to risk?
Changing.
They don't really have to change too much. They just have to change the way they market it. Change and change the run of show. The run, yeah, but for what? To make it faster? I mean, you could take. They go so darn slow. Like it's like watching golf. It's it's really slow. Really slow.
Okay.
Extremely slow. A lot of downtime. It's been like that for a long time. It has.
It needs to change. And my thing was that I think Ryan Sage is on the defensive now, which I think FD has always been on the offensive, right?
I think Formula Drift's kind of always been on the yacht, saying like, "Hey, I see the."
Well, what I'm saying is that they're always
we're going to do what we want to do.
They've been leading by what they want to do. Now,
which has worked for them,
but now it doesn't.
Right
now it doesn't, and I think they're too. I don't think they're too far behind. I don't think they're going to go out of business.
No,
I think they'll continue to be number 2.
Yeah,
but now they're officially number 2.
But look at the crowd there. I mean, they're not going anywhere. I don't think like they're going out of business.
I just what you said.
I know. I understand. Okay. I'm just re-emphasizing your
point.
Okay,
gotcha.
Gee whiz, golly gee willikers. Anyways, I like what you said. They're maybe they may not be number 2 in their mind. They'll be number 1 in the States still, right?
That's if Drift Masters comes to the States.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. What I'm saying is,
that's a big
if Drift Masters puts their foot on the ground, and
Formula Drift doesn't have to do too much. They change the run of show. They invest a little more in hyping up certain drivers and certain battles. They speed up the show, and they're already there because they already have the following. They do get a lot of spectators. It's not like nobody shows up to a Formula Drift event. They still get thousands of people to show up.
My thing is that Adam's a businessman. Dave Egan's a businessman. If Adam says,
so Dave, Ryan Sage and all, they're all businessmen.
Yeah,
too.
But Adam is built more quicker
because of his following on YouTube.
Still, he's still built more than Ryan has in the 20 years that they've been doing it.
Which is a big. We contribute a lot to that because of his YouTube success.
But look at Drift Masters. Drift Masters isn't that old.
No,
Drift Masters built more in a short amount of time.
Who founded Drift Masters?
I don't know the history behind Drift Masters.
Do you?
See if I can look it up.
Anyways, I think that's all I had to say about that. I think Chelsea's going to Drift Masters or doing something with Adam. That's, I think, a no-brainer. I don't think he's having a kid. Maybe he's having a kid. Maybe he's going to take a little while to have a kid. I don't see Chelsea pregnant, but
well, that's weird. Oh, his wife, Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Chelsea, not Chelsea.
Yeah, well, that's what they do.
I never heard that.
Yeah. Got some comments. DC//SA. Sorry, DCS/A. Sorry. Wrote D1NZ has their version of Stadium Drift. I think it's international from FD to drag. No, I think it's intentional. Sorry, from Formula Drift to drag the event long as they do. RDS drags their show even more.
Really?
Right.
I know D1NZ. I've watched a lot of their stuff.
Okay.
It's a good competition, but New Zealand's kind of small, so.
Like Kiwis, right? That's what they call them, Kiwis? I forget.
I think so, yeah.
Whatever. It said David just comp recently IDC. I think that's the Irish Drift Championship, I think. And then he made a comment about James Dean almost rolling over against on the wall against Matt Field.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And then he wrote, well, but since 2004, FD is working to overcome D1GP. They did, and now DMEC is challenging. It's only normal.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because they did. Remember that's a good point. D1 did try and come over here. And what Formula Drift do?
Yeah,
they made it very hard for them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious if Dave, but see, now I think Dave Egan is he's a more crude businessman that he won't. I think with D1, they kind of just rolled over and said, okay, that's your territory. And they kind of took it. I think if Dave Egan really sets his mind to it, he wants to come over here, he's not going to let Formula. He's not going to let Formula.
D1, the actual people weren't coming over. They were sending hired guns. Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You need to come over here, and that's what Dave Egan does.
Drifting didn't have the worldwide notoriety that it's got today as well.
Yeah, no, it was a bad time. Formula Drift had monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
They basically chased him out of town.
Right.
So, and then they basically came in their town and chased him out of their own town.
Yeah, now Formula Drift's over there. Right. Yeah. Actually, you're actually right.
Yeah,
that's kind of a
they
hostile,
came back
right?
And,
They're like, Pearl Harbor, bam!
Jeez,
the drift bomb.
Oh boy,
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I think that Irish blood he's not gonna take no for an answer. And with people like Adam LZ and Jimmy Oakes and all those guys right there with them,
well, if you think about it,
Formula Drift is not gonna be able to just shut them out like they did D1.
I agree with that. And
it's almost like drift mafias.
And I think what sort of an ace in Dave's card is that he has Adam to help him out.
That's what I was saying. So
he has the connections already. So if he wanted to just jump over here and set things up,
he just has to jump in with Adam. Adam's already got something going on.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's going to be, so for instance, D1 GP had all those roadblocks to do with because of either the contracts are already set up with Formula Drift beforehand that D1 GP couldn't get to, or also the limited amount of tracks to at the time.
And
because
sending personnel that doesn't have the same.
So now what happens to Adam LZ because he is a Formula Drift driver?
Well,
do they?
He's not.
Well, no, hang on. He didn't confirm that he was coming back.
Yeah,
he never confirmed. They asked him.
So LZ is not confirming to come back. Chelsea Denofa's leaving Formula Drift.
It's like the opposite of Smash Brothers. Unconfirmed.
Right? And Drift Masters having the biggest showing in Poland, showing what they're capable of. LZ already
getting said, man. It's like the perfect storm.
I'm saying it again.
Yeah. You're like my hype man now, I guess.
Yeah, is there a problem you don't like that? You want me to contribute? I think you're wrong because you're just a big dummy, and I need another twisted tea.
You want help with that, Paul?
I need to get some water anyway, so let me go.
Well, let me go get the water. You move out of my way because you're like a big roadblock.
Oh boy, here we go.
Water.
Yeah, that's where he's gonna go with. But you definitely, and you can't forget that Red Bull has the money and the capability.
Oh, Red Bull can do
to be able to. Yeah. It's like, oh, you want to go over there?
No,
too?
Red Bull sees something.
All right,
Red Bull definitely sees something there. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason Red Bull's behind it, and Red Bull tried with the drift shifters or shift drift or whatever the thing. They tried that. That didn't really work, but I think they see something with drift masters, and
they also long time ago they did an event at a shipping yard, if I recall correctly.
That was I think that was with the pinball thing that they were doing.
No, I'm talking. This is different.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the one that you're talking about, I remember it was like you have to. It was kind of like a Gymkhana course in a way, where you have to slide a couple of things. And,
it was all.
But there was a Red Bull event in a shipping yard a long time ago, and it was supposed to be some sort of like world competition that was supposed to bring in, attract all these different drivers from all these different parts.
We're doing donuts and stuff around different.
No. I'm gonna have to look it up. You guys are like.
Reminds me of his grid.
Grid, yes, it was something like that.
That
it was something like that.
Shipyard track that me and Ben were going back and forth in.
Right,
like Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift.
Something like that.
Yeah, remember he's in a shipyard and the Drift King is over there. Call that drifting. I'm fishing.
Yeah. No, it's so I don't know. I see a perfect storm there, and if you do you want to pull up some of the other things that I sent you, or after you do that, because I have some more some more things as well.
Let me pull it up for you guys over here.
You gonna show it to everybody?
Drifting.
Yeah, hang on, just a moment. Whoop, there we go. This is the event that I'm talking about.
2008. They did it at Long Beach.
Yep. The port of Long Beach.
Yeah, the World Yeah, I remember they were doing that. They usually did it after the end of Formula Drift, right? It was a one round competition, almost like an exhibition.
It was it's a one-time thing, really.
This was a one-time thing. You're talking about the Motegi Super Drift thing.
Oh yeah, Super Drift. That's what I'm thinking. They still do that, don't they?
Yeah, they still do that.
Yeah.
But this is the event that I was talking about.
But this was ran by Formula Drift.
Yeah,
is
but
it?
yeah, but Red Bull is like
Formula D.
Red Bull's not easy to work with though. Like some of the stuff that they do, like they have to really want to work with you. Like they have to see something, because we tried to do stuff with Red Bull, and we had the numbers, and they were having all these people like Red Bull DJ and Red Bull all this other stuff. Remember? And it was like a skateboard competition, and there's like 30 people there or 50 people there or whatever, and we're like, we got like a few hundred people at drift events. Can you come out to drift events and bring your stuff out? And they wouldn't come.
What was this?
Red Bull. You don't remember when I was trying to get Red Bull to come out to the local events?
Yeah.
It's like they just wouldn't come. Like we would have up to like almost 1,000 people show up sometime. And I'm like, we get a good amount of people. Just bring your truck. You know, we're not paying.
We did get them to come
once or twice. Yeah, after
sometimes
like
they show up randomly.
They would put out some Red Bull tables, which is fine, and give out some Red Bull, which is good. But I was like, when they were doing like the skateboard competition at what was it, Circus House or something like that, where they would have like skateboard competitions, they'd have like 50, 60 people show up, and they have this big Red Bull DJ rig and like all Red. I'm just like, why can't we get that? And Red Bull, it's like they have to really want to work with you, or they won't, or you just got to know the right person, I guess. I don't know. What can you do? Or
maybe you didn't drink enough cans of Red Bull in order to attract them.
Twisted tea. This is Pat Gooden's fault.
Damn you! That's going to be the next sponsor for Formula Drift. That's when you really know they hit rock bottom.
Yeah. Life is good with a twist.
Yeah. Oh, that's They really hit rock bottom. Mm-hmm. Formula Drift presented by Twisted Tea.
Yeah, and they put like little pictures here. Like we could put like pictures of the drifters here, because it has like
pictures of the drift.
Yeah.
Oh, your favorite driver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Collector's edition cans.
Yeah. So at this point, we can only speculate what's going to happen next. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's something.
I'll put $20 on Chelsea going to either Adam's World Tour or Drift Masters,
or working hand in hand with Drift Masters.
Well, driving it.
Or maybe he's going to start his own drift school. Because I know he was working with somebody with designing a track down here in Florida.
That was Leadfoot City.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
I don't know. The place has been shut down since May.
But maybe that's what he's going to work on.
Maybe
he's got to put time into that, and maybe he's going to get like a drift school here, because you never know.
Well, he's definitely living down here now, so he's invested.
You know, he was saying that he's been back in the Orlando area, and he hasn't been to OSW since he moved back.
He has.
No, he hasn't. He said that. He said he hasn't.
Well, it depends.
Because he made it sound like he hasn't been back since he moved.
Videos of him driving at OSW, so that's not true.
Not during an event with everybody else is there. Maybe a private day.
Private days.
That's a distinction.
Okay, private days.
Yeah, private days, and the only other exception being the NMRA event.
Yeah.
That happened at Orlando.
Well, he's required to do that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But
he also drove at Formula Drift. So.
Well, he meant like with everybody coming out on a regular event.
Yeah.
That's what he meant.
Yeah, well, no.
So it was good to finally catch up with him in a long time. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ben?
I don't know. I'm still kind of like stuck with this whole thing about like what's gonna happen, and
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. It kind of takes me back to when there was rumors circling around LZ, Adam, and acquiring Drift HQ.
Yo, wait, you really need to go to that next talking point, because I'm just thinking now that I didn't, because what Gabriel said that he thinks that this guy's Chelsea, and now Chelsea drops out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God!
On to the next talking point.
Yeah, okay, all right.
I don't think it's him,
but.
Okay.
That would be hilarious.
Segue.
If he comes back as a pseudo, I
could Formula Drift to be okay, go ahead. Lead into it.
Yeah. Let me try to put some context.
Can you pull up his?
Yeah, actually, pull up the video first.
Well, you're not gonna play the video.
Why not?
Did it have music? I don't remember if it had
music.
No music.
It's just him talking.
Yeah. And it's not even a voice you recognize because they masked the voice, right?
Yeah, but I
changed the voice.
I was looking back, and it's like,
it just seemed like he was too tall. Now, I will say that the vehicle of choice would lead me to believe that's something Chelsea would do. Because
really, I think the opposite. But maybe.
You don't think so? I mean,
I just don't know. Like Mercedes, like why would he?
I don't know. But the way he made it, I'm like, who is this guy? I don't even know who. He's like, everybody's wanting to know. I'm like, who's everybody? Because I didn't even know.
Ooh.
What?
Oh,
what?
Hang on. I gotta have to show you. Yeah, show this to you guys.
What's that?
So somebody put up a different perspective of this. Hang on.
I mean, he slams into the front of his car. He throws him into the wall, like straight up throws him into the wall.
Is there a way I could do this? Go to post. Yeah, there we go.
I mean, he slammed him into the freaking wall.
Hang on, I'm going.
Enhance.
Watch.
Enhance.
Holy cow, dude.
There we go.
Shoot.
That was bad.
Go into Instagram, and this is the first thing I see. Lone Star Derp putting up this video of James Dean, Matt Field, tandem practice, and Matt Field makes contact with James Dean and just sends him into the air. Wow, that is some airtime.
There was no reason to do that. Like that was just like almost looked like it was intentional.
Oh, come on, Tim.
I'm not a Matt Field fan. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
That's really bad.
Well, Matt Field definitely got into the zone. The auto zone.
The auto zone. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure Matt Field is going to get it because he did it to James Dean. I'm sure he's getting a ton of hate mail right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever.
That's pretty.
Anyway, segue into the next one.
Yeah, I just gotta have to look it up. So just give me a moment.
So anyway, that's kind of that. Like this guy's going to literally go from Pro-Am to Prospect to FD, and then this guy also falls out. That this suspected person.
It can't be the same person.
It can't. I mean, Chelsea wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't go through.
But
the whole thing.
It is his body shape. If you look at the body, Chelsea.
Think so?
If you look at Chelsea's body, but
why would he drop out just to try to get back in again?
It'd be
that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, you know.
When you put it that way, it really sounds absurd.
That's what I'm saying.
It sounds completely absurd.
Like he wouldn't be so upset. Like
no,
if he was, there's just no. That's not him.
It's not him. But I thought it was funny.
But the thing is does this person have a huge following? I mean,
they do now. I mean, they don't have a huge following, but they have more than us. So double R's.
Oh, there is a picture of Chelsea in the same screen there.
What do you mean?
Can everybody see this guy?
Yeah. The first thing he posted was Chelsea's rant. That's the first thing he posted.
This is a relatively new. It only has 6 posts.
A couple months.
Yeah, so it's definitely somebody that's been in a drift world.
The first thing they play is.
Okay, what is this?
My goal for the next 3 years is to become a professional Formula Drift driver. For the last 10 years, I've been saving up approximately $150,000 for this exact goal. My dream. I'm just a normal guy. I'm no one famous. I'm no one special.
Gabby Chelsea.
What I am is very motivated, and I've been calculating my moves for the last 15 or so years since I last drifted at an event. I'm not here to do anything besides achieve that goal and also make the entire path as transparent as possible so that others can follow along and do this as well. So we're going to start from absolute scratch. I will document every single part of the car, all of the build, every single dime spent, and we will document all the ups, all the downs, and all the suspension settings and engine settings and tuning and everything along the way. Complete transparency
somebody in West Palm Beach
on everything is my goal at all events and at all practices. So this is the beginning. I hope you follow along, and I hope that I can bring you some value along the way.
Well, Here we go. To the next one with what solidified for me. It's got to be somebody with the AeroK shirt.
The AeroK shirt one.
So everybody keeps asking me.
There's a couple things that are going on here that maybe anybody that's not local to Florida or Florida drifting. AeroK is like
Sean. He had him here on the show.
Okay, but a lot of people don't know who they
We're
are.
about halfway done.
Aerocade was an old school drifting
Most of the stuff on the inside is taken
back
out.
from like 14 years
We've
ago.
already removed the engine.
And then the place he's at is SLR, which is Sean
That's
Love,
another question.
which is another OG drifter
We took this engine out. We're
South
not going to
Florida.
use
14 years
Mercedes.
ago.
It's also not going to look
who
like
is
Not
this
this.
South
Harry.
Florida guy?
It's not Harry because Harry's too big.
His arms.
Yeah. And the
That
accent
guy's
is-
body is Chelsea.
It's not Chelsea, man.
It's Chelsea's pants.
It's
And
Chelsea's pants.
It's not Chelsea. The shoulders are too broad. It's not too.
No, I'm
It's not.
telling
It's
you.
not Chelsea. I'm telling you.
I don't think it's Chelsea, but it's his body's. And in Chelsea, it was part of Aerocade.
Chelsea was part of Aerocade, but it's not Chelsea.
I don't know who it is.
Why? It doesn't. Would make sense.
And trust me, it would make no sense. Who is it? It's just totally
Somebody we know.
This is working.
It's definitely somebody we know.
There's Sean Love at the back with the blue shirt.
Yeah, Sean Love
Shonda,
right there.
what do Shonda?
He's not tall because he's the same size as Sean. Sean's
No,
not
he's
tall.
taller than Sean.
He's a little bit taller.
Sean is about the same height as me. Me and Sean are the same height.
You're small.
And I'm the same height as Chelsea, about pretty much.
So the engine could not be Chelsea. There's no way Chelsea would do that. And I don't think the car would ever be Chelsea, obviously. But this guy has something to do with Aerocade. Why would he wear an Aerocade? And the thing is, another thing that would point directly to Chelsea is Chelsea has always worked with Sean.
Yeah, it's true.
And here he is. This guy's
It's
working
not
with
Chelsea.
Sean. I
There's
know
no
it's
way.
not Chelsea, but he is obviously playing into that.
He is.
This guy's playing into that.
Well, I'm kind of curious. Rory Drift. So that profile has only been
Active for a couple months.
and
And he's got this weird character. And then he posts Chelsea's rant in here.
well, that's his first post, right?
That's his first post, which he just posts that.
June 28th.
Yeah,
June 28th.
So it's only been active since June 28th. So he basically shares an Excel file. He has a Discord. And he shares an Excel file of a budget for...
Oh, really? For what he's paying for it?
A budget for full program. So if somebody has access... He has access to somebody's information.
So he knows
What?
enough what it takes to become pro, and he knows what the programs cost.
And Chelsea would know that.
Chelsea would know that.
Chelsea
But
would know that better than anybody else.
I don't think that's Chelsea, though.
I don't think it's Chelsea. But the guy's playing into it.
He is playing into it.
But he has to know Chelsea. If he knows Sean and he's wearing an Aerocade shirt,
Maybe we can get him on the show.
oh, we probably can.
Okay, who?
Let's reach out
Rory
to him.
Drift.
We can get him on the show.
Get him on the show. We
gosh.
can ask some questions.
yeah.
Why not?
No.
Why not?
That'd
Yeah.
be something.
That would. Why
Let's
not?
reach out to him.
He doesn't have to come here. He can come here if he wants because he obviously lives kind of local. Rory
Say,
Drift.
hey,
If you
look.
see this, Rory Drift, I'm in Sunrise, Florida. I'm not too far away from you. I already know.
I don't know if he'd be up for it because he may know you to have loose lips. Because remember,
He
this ain't
doesn't have to
chips.
show his
He
face.
knows who it is.
Oh, I
you
don't know. I
Well,
don't.
he knows.
No, but
I
he doesn't
definitely
have to
don't
show
know.
his face.
He
He can
knows.
leave his hood on the whole time. He doesn't have to tell us who he is. But we're gonna ask you who you are.
Ben.
It's Ben. Ben. It's you.
Oh yeah, right.
No, you do know Air, okay? You know Chelsea.
I know Air. Okay. Hello.
Holy cow! It's you.
All three of us
It
know
is
Air.
you.
Okay. It's not me for
You
crying
would
out
choose a
loud.
Mercedes because you like to do something different.
You know what? I do it like Mercedes. I mean, I
You would
wasn't
do a
bring
Hellcat
up.
motor too.
You
I
would do
was-
it, and you have been for a long time.
Yes.
And you save money.
And you do like Excel
And you do
sheets.
like Excel sheets. It's you, Ben. It's you.
And who likes to hide their identity?
You do. You like to hide your identity. Oh. So that's why he's like, we couldn't get him on because you couldn't do both at the same time, could you, Ben? Could you?
That's exactly why.
It's you, Ben.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
The secret's
gosh.
out. But no, we should reach out to him, see if he
You
wants to
guys
do a
are
show.
dummies.
I want to see if we can get him on a show. I know he's local because he doesn't have to come here. You don't have to come here. If you come here, leave your hood on the whole time. We know. We won't tell anybody. Leave your hood on the whole time. I got Twisted Tea for you. We'll take care of you.
Let's reach out to Sean.
I have.
Let's reach out to him and let's reach out to Sean. Say, Sean, we want to do an interview. We want him on the podcast. How do we get him on the podcast?
That's a good idea. I was gonna say to have both Sean and him.
Yeah.
Rory, whoever he is.
Yeah.
And or she. is. Who knows? Remember,
It's
masking
not-
the voice.
Come on.
You don't.
He's got some
Whatever.
square breasts.
Square breasts.
Listen, so Sean Love can be the interpreter. He could basically talk to Sean, and Sean could speak for him on his behalf.
I don't think he needs an interpreter.
Well, we don't know that. Who knows? Who knows what sort of conditions he might want to do? For all we know, he might want to sit in a corner in the dark and talk from a distance. We don't know. I'm thinking it was Tim Lasseri. That's what I think
I
it
don't think
was.
it's Tim. Because
That's what I think.
Tim's shorter than Sean.
No, he's not. You think he's short? He's not. When's the last time you? Well, everybody's short. You, so it's different.
That's
you
true.
have it. That's a good. Tim's not short.
Right. And Tim has been known to, he does custom stuff. And the last event was funny enough. I started looking up like photos of his last event. And it just so happens 15 years ago, there was an event in Fairgrounds where he was driving.
Well, he was driving not too long ago either.
Was
he was driving a 350Z with the VQ in it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he's not. It's not like he hasn't been driving for a while. He's been driving,
Might not be him then, I guess.
and he has the
I
ability
think
to
it's
man.
Tim.
And he's close with Sean.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I was thinking it was Tim. Well, not you, Tim. The other Tim.
The other Tim.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, Bryan Sturman in the chat, he says, "What's up?" He hopes we're doing well, and he mentioned who rolled Tim out of bed and put him on the podcast.
Yeah, I didn't wear a hat. It's a twisted T, man. It's the twisted T that's doing it to me. I can't. Yeah, it's whatever. Who punched him in the face and rolled him out of bed? It's whatever.
I watched Brian's most recent video. That was pretty cool.
When he was at the.
He did the OKC.
Yeah, he did the OKC.
Yeah.
How was that? I wonder how that was.
That event was strange from the get-go.
was
Simply
like a
because
pop-up
it just popped up out of
Just
nowhere.
out of nowhere event.
Yeah, Paul was the one I think that mentioned it to us. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys know about this? And we're like, what are you talking about? And we're looking, it's like, is it a competition? And we're asking people around. It's like, yeah, some people already like registered. And I'm like, what is going on?
Jackson drove and caught on fire,
Yeah.
supposedly.
Right. Oh, caught on fire.
Caught on fire? Really?
Or blew up.
Brian, can you confirm or deny that for me? Thank you.
Yeah.
The other E30, did it blow up?
Yeah, did the other E30 blow up? The other blue E30? Did it blow up, catch fire?
He's like, what's the alternate, the alternate to
Bizarro.
Superman?
He's
like
Bizarro.
Bizarro
Brian.
Brian
You got Bryan Sturman and Bizarro Bryan Sturman. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man,
man.
that
That's
is
funny.
Yeah,
That's
that
great.
That's funny.
That's good stuff.
Chris
that's
Chris is like
hilarious.
all dirty and stuff. It's it's funny. But anyways, it looked like it was fun for the little E30 to walk around that course. He threw it in a little too hard on his last battle and spun, but it looked like it was fun for the E30. I don't think it'd be fun for anything bigger than like my G35. I think I would be like flying off the track all.
Brian wrote, man, I was set up to win that event, screwed myself, but it was a lot of fun actually. Super tight and technical, but it was nothing but doors, and half the guys there have never competed. And he is confirming that Chris Jackson, world famous Chris Jackson, caught on fire.
Bizarro Bryan Sturman.
Seems about right.
Yeah. Surprised he passed that.
Anyways,
Well, maybe it was self-tech. We don't know
Self-tech?
that. We
Could be
weren't there.
self-tech, yeah.
But shout
So,
out to
wait,
Christian
can he
Petrone.
add-
He
can
won
he-
the event. You know, congratulations to him.
Who threw that event? Can we ask Brian who actually hosted the event? I saw the first.
it was
place
Brazilians.
check-
I know there's some Brazilian guys, so I know Drift HQ was
Brazilian?
involved in it. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
And then I heard Brian was saying somebody third place got upset or something. They didn't do the rest. They were supposed to drift after for like an hour like that, and then third place kind of ruined it, and the owner ended up stopping everything.
Whatever.
Which but the problem is the owner doesn't like drifters to begin with, from what I heard. That's the reason they still haven't drifted there in a long time. And now there's another issue in the most recent since he let him back in. It's like, geez.
Well, he didn't really let him back in. He put him in a parking lot.
Yeah, but I mean, still there's an issue, right? I mean,
Is it really an issue? I mean, he didn't keep his word. What really is the issue? You don't keep your word. You expect people not to get upset.
What word?
You said that they were supposed to drift for another hour after, right?
Yeah, he did that. He stopped it because the guy was upset that he didn't win. That's what I said.
That's
Third
why.
place.
You didn't
there was an issue.
Use your words.
Hang on. Let's, thank you, Brian, for adding some context to this.
Oh, there we go.
He wrote, in regards to world famous Chris Jackson, his fuel cell vent had an issue.
Yeah, he always says that.
And that's that. And then,
I remember like 12 years ago, he was leaking fuel on the track. He said, "Oh no, that's water."
Yeah.
I said, no, that's fuel, buddy.
Let me give you context, Brian. Chris Jackson shows up at a Drift Sessions event back when we were at County Line.
Back when the tables were turned.
Back when the tables were turned, where I had the upper hand. Jackson takes off down the line. I'm like, man, I go, there's a trail of liquid coming out there. And I'm like, on the radio, I'm like, can you guys check his car? They pull over. They ask him, say, hey, liquid's coming out of the back of your car. Jackson's like, no, my car sits outside. That's just rainwater that sits in the back and it drains out. I'm like, Jackson, I'm trying to trust Jackson, but I'm finding out, you can't really trust him. Anyways, so he actually straight up lied to me, and it was gasoline coming out. So halfway, another like 6 runs later, I'm like, that's a lot of rainwater. Like, that's a lot of rainwater. Come to find out it was gas, so we had to stop him, and he had to go fix it. So apparently he must have told him the same thing. That's rainwater. It'll be fine. And then they fall for the Jackson scheme, and they didn't know his history of the rainwater, which is really gasoline trick. The old gasoline rainwater trick, eh? So Brian, remember, if you ever see Jackson's car leak anything, and he says it's rainwater, he's lying. It's gas.
It's gasoline.
Guaranteed. Take a lighter and light it as he leaves the line. As he leaves the line, take a little blowtorch.
Flammable rain, huh?
Yeah, it's rainwater, right?
yeah, you want to see if he could outrun the trail of
Yeah,
fire?
just like the Coyote and like the Roadrunner back in the Looney Tunes days.
Yeah.
So remember that, Brian. Next time you do a competition.
Did he say anything about the third place?
Well, there's more. Yeah, he said that John at Drift HQ was the event organizer.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it
I
was
thought it
all
was Drift
Brazilian
HQ.
guys.
Yeah, it
All
was.
Brazilian
That's
guys.
what I figured.
And then in regards to the scuffle that took place in regard
Heat in the
surrounding
pits?
third place, there was. I
lot of
guess
heat
there
in
was a
the
lot of heat. Some kid had his shirt off trying to fight while on the podium. Wow! I would love to see footage of that.
Yeah.
Just to see how that.
I wish I was there. We should have went. I couldn't go. I was in Savannah. You could have went though. Why didn't you go?
Yeah, you could have gone, Paul. What's the matter?
Yeah.
You weren't
I
doing
didn't know
anything
you were in
important.
Savannah. I thought you were there.
No, I was in Savannah.
Yeah. No.
Damn, we missed
Gabby
out.
should have went. And I
Gabby
coulda-
should have went.
Yeah, should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he leaks fuel too, so.
It does.
Sorry, Gabby, if you leak gas. You're very gassy.
There's more. He said, but owner was cool afterwards in the group chat. He's going to be improving the track and having
awesome.
a lot of future events. It was awesome besides that hiccup.
Okay.
And then he died laughing at the
Was it one of the door tapper?
the Bizarro and the Chris Jackson. No, the Chris Jackson's catching on fire.
Who
with
got
the
third? Was it
rainwater.
one of the door tapper guys?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, door tapper. Oh, yeah. That would
Because they were extremely annoying at OSW.
be it.
Who?
Door
The door tapper guys, they were
They're a
extremely
crew.
annoying at OSW. They kept driving through the pits at Black Friday, not Black Friday, the last King of OSW, Spring Break Bash, and just revving and just two-stepping through the pits like every time.
The door tapper guys are the over.
The
The
blue
Nissan,
350Zs,
well,
yeah.
They do
that's part of the
takeovers.
problem. You got a VQ to deal with, and it's not the most pleasurable experience.
I didn't
It's
think
horrible.
about that. Yeah, you could,
It's hideous,
you gotta-
horrendous.
Yeah, tell Gabby that.
Yep, I do.
Yeah.
I have no shame in reminding him every time how horrible it is to be around his car, even if the engine is off. All right, it's just horrible.
This is like it's still making noise, even though
it just looks annoying.
It's just
Yeah, just looking at it, like my ears start to ring. It's
Anyhow,
ridiculous.
yeah,
But he also wrote he was mad at judges over a fight and miscommunication over who was supposed to lead. They both taught for lead position and hit an entry was weird. Yeah, it definitely sounds weird.
We'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think we can watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like they did any sort of broadcast or anything like
Yeah,
that.
shout out to Christian Catrone for taking first place. Good job taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Whew, wow. So much to unpack. So quick predictions on what's going to happen in Formula Drift this weekend.
Chelsea going to take home the championship. He's going to go out in style.
Okay, Paul?
Well, I mean, with the way What the hell's the Corvette guy's name? God,
Matt Field?
Matt Field. Maybe he's gonna wreck Chelsea too.
Yeah,
He's just going after any RTR guy. I don't know. I hope Rome does pretty well. Now watching him right now on the screen, I really like Rome. So I hope Rome does well. I think Asbo.
Who do you think is going to take the championship?
I think Asbo. I'm sorry. I just think. I like Chelsea, but I think Asbo is just. He's a machine. And
good night, Brian. Thank you for putting in your 2 cents. We really appreciate you adding all of this context because obviously we weren't there.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. So back to you, Paul.
Yeah. So I think Asbo will probably bring it in. It could be Matt Field. Matt Field has wanted it for a long time. I don't know. I mean, Chelsea could get it too. You don't know. It all depends on how this ends up. The qualifying is really going to predict it. Because if Asbo and all those guys end up on the same side of the bracket, I think it'll be very hard to see any one of the. Find it hard for Chelsea to see the win there.
And he took a long time to say all that. What are you really trying to say?
Rome
did really good there. That was a good run.
What I'm trying to say is that I think.
He doesn't even know what he thinks.
What?
Just mess with
Shut
you.
up.
It's just Twisted Tea talking to me.
No, I think I was trying to think of his name, but never mind. This is what it is.
Asbo?
No.
Yeah, he already mentioned Asbo.
No.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm just going to go with Chelsea. Just bring it home.
Yeah, it'd be great for
It'd be the one and only. Go out with a bang.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But
I
Rome
think
would be
I think he's probably definitely motivated to win.
Yes.
I think Chelsea's definitely motivated
And
to win.
he's 60-something points in the lead right now. So.
But Chelsea is also very, like emotional. And that crash with Dean was like his boy, So, like, I don't know if that's going to he's going to be like.
Mess with his mind.
Mess with
and
his
then
mind
with
a
knowing
little
that he's retiring.
Yeah.
Or maybe it'll inspire him to drive even harder.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
See how it goes. Ford Fest was fun. Had a good time, Tim?
It's a great time. Always a great time. It's mostly, I just like hanging out with the Swansonator and Pat Gooden.
Man. Nobody died. Nobody got ran over.
Nobody died. Nobody got run. Drone got splashed down.
Oh,
yeah.
See, can't trust the Mustangs.
Yeah, Mustangs attacking the drones.
They always find a way to take something out.
No, it was a great
crowd.
Can't
take out the crowd. I'm gonna take out the drones.
It was a great crowd. A lot of good spectators.
I think Russia needs to take some of those over there.
Maybe so.
Take out the drones.
It's nice to see.
Well, spectators is subjective, Tim. Remember, in regards to turnout.
What do you mean?
Remember, one event, another event, and one bigger than the other.
What?
Remember?
He's a Twisted Tea, bud.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
the Twisted
talk
Tea's
to me like
him.
a 3-year-old.
The T's got him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just getting into elementary school. Explain yourself.
Okay. It's subjective to say that one event, it brings more people than another event, right?
I didn't say that. I'm saying it's getting bigger. It got bigger than it was last year. That's what I was told.
He's going back to a statement that you made.
I made a statement?
A couple, maybe an hour ago.
Remember, we had a discussion.
You got to like a
3-year-old,
like a 3-year-old
with somebody at the event.
Yes.
And we were comparing LS Fest with Ford Fest.
Okay, but I'm not comparing LS Fest to Ford Fest.
I know that, but it was sort of like making fun of the idea that.
Okay. I get where you're going,
right?
But I totally didn't get that because I'm thinking Ford
You're
Fest.
thinking Twisted Tea. That's what you're thinking.
Thinking Twisted Tea, and what I was told that Ford Fest was bigger than as far as driver drifting, not Ford Fest in the venue and the event itself.
Oh, okay.
The drifting portion was bigger than it's been ever, which is true.
That is true. Yes.
One thing I think LS Fest should do that Ford Fest does. Actually, two things that I think that LS Fest should bring into their event is one, the swap shop, the swap meet.
Yes,
I thought that was pretty cool. They have a swap meet where everybody's selling car parts and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everybody has
that one guy that was looking for that alternator would really love that.
Oh, he would have loved it. Right? And two, the oval track stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. Change. When they had the cars going around the oval, they did
Oh, that makes sense.
They did like 20 laps or whatever laps, and they all had like Crown Vics or something like that.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. So those are two things I like to see in LS Fest.
Crown Vics.
Not Crown Vics.
Well, you can still have the Crown Vics.
Crown Vic without
LS Powers. Yeah, LS Powers. Yeah,
exactly. What I took from it was just different. It was fun. It definitely, you know what? I'd say it was more fun at Ford Fest and LS Fest for me. Only because we actually had the opportunity to go out and walk around, check out all the other things. LS Fest was just a lot more work.
Yeah.
Bit of more stressful, you could say. And I think Ford Fest allowed us to check out Bigfoot.
Yeah, it gave us more freedom to do some walk around the pits, talk to more drivers. We got to talk to way more drivers, interview some drivers. We have to do some good interviews. I agree with that. But I think, hopefully, if all things go according to plan, next year, each LS Fest, we're going to have a good live stream. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And we'll get more driver interviews, and stay tuned.
Paul, you had fun at LS Fest? I don't think we spoke about that.
Yeah, we haven't talked to you about LS Fest on the show because we did the next show after LS Fest was at Ford Fest.
Yeah.
I think we did, but that's neither here nor there. No, I mean, I thought LS Fest was great. Yeah, we did talk about this because I remember talking about LS Fest.
I think
we did.
Yeah,
okay,
we did talk about that.
That's fine.
Because I think we did a show
talk about the next little thing I sent you.
Oh, shit.
Oh, you got something else to talk about?
I got 2 other things to talk about.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I thought
we
we were
don't have to make up
winding down
stuff.
here.
Yeah,
all right,
okay.
we're still going. It's the
So you
podcast that
can
never
bring-
ends.
Why we're 11. Well, we can go extra. Come on.
Oh, my gosh, you're right.
I got 2 other things.
You got 2 more things?
Yeah, 2 more things.
All right, you're going to have to cut this up. So we don't have to do a show in 2 weeks. We can just do this
Yeah.
one. You can just air the second half of the show again next week.
Let me pull this up.
Oh,
this is
man.
off topic, but I actually, when I saw this, I was like, oh, this is awesome.
You saw this before I said
Yes, I've seen this before.
Okay, yeah.
This is great.
I thought this was because this will be good for you because I know what you want to do, but you right now I know you want to get rid of something and you want to do something else. This is it. This is
Get rid of something. Now I'm like, really?
Yeah, I don't even think is it here anymore. Did you get rid of the bike?
No, I still got it.
Okay, so I know you want to get rid of that.
Well, nobody's offered anything on it. So.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's
So you're saying I should keep it?
nothing's selling right now.
No, nothing's selling. It's crazy.
Nothing's selling.
Actually, I had one young kid tell me how much he wants an E30. It is a car that he's always dreamed of
give it to
having. And he's like, would you do anything better on the price? And I was like, well, I'll come down a little bit. And he's like, okay, I'm going to talk to my dad. Like, it's literally like he wrote me like a book about like how he's looking to get into different types of things. And just that year BMW is just something that he's always wanted.
Oh, that's the same kid that wrote me.
No, really?
Yeah. Hold on.
No, it's
hold
not.
on,
Really?
hold on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Because I got in the middle of the night, right? Like
yes,
at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning.
He probably wrote it to everybody.
He wrote
What
it
is
to
going
me.
on?
Oh no! Wait. It's got to be the same kid because how many? His name's Brandon.
Yeah, let me find. It was on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. I understand this may not mean much to you, but my name is Brandon, and I'm 17, and E30s have been my dream car since I was like 10, and I saw it on the cover of one of my favorite albums. I am really, 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 really interested in this car, and I understand that you're trying to conduct business, but at the same time, I'm just a kid who wants his dream car, and I was wondering if 5,500 was the absolute best you could do. That was literally word for word.
Brandon, right?
Yeah.
Was it Xavier?
Now I feel pity for the guy. I say, Tim, sell it to him.
I would for $5,000.
It was Brandon.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna.
He might have changed his name when he sent the message to you, Paul. Maybe instead of Brandon, it was Brad that sent you a message.
Brad.
Yeah, Brad.
Or Brandon instead of Brandon.
Right.
Okay, so wait, we're gonna go.
No. Let him keep looking. I can talk about this. So
Okay.
I actually saw this online.
Is this the new Honda compact motorcycle?
You could kind of say that, yeah.
How do you? Why?
I've seen this already.
You seen this already?
It's not a motorcycle.
It is. It folds up into a suitcase. And it's
No, it's not a motor. It's not. It's a
Anyways,
mini
yes,
bike.
go ahead. I like this thing,
Oh, you do?
and it's like $400 or something.
They used to make them a long
Yes.
time ago, but yeah. So like, this is such a freaking little awesome suitcase.
I love it. Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, I need one
that's
of these.
what we need.
Yeah, this is a perfect pit bike
It is a perfect pit bike.
because you just fold
That
it
is
out.
amazing. That's not the one I was thinking of, though.
Oh, really?
So they
Look, it
make
all
an old
folds.
school one.
Yeah, so Honda has an old one
Yes.
that was gas powered. This
Right.
is the new version of that. It's electric powered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
you
how-
haven't seen this one.
No, I haven't seen this one. How much is it?
Oh, it's way too much money.
Well, then I don't want it. So what do you mean don't get rid of my pit bike?
No, I'm saying I said
Hey, it looks like a credit card.
it says going to make you get rid of your pit bike.
Oh, I could just imagine all the VTEC stickers that I want to put on that. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Can I put BMW on it?
Coming soon. There's even an app. So I thought that was pretty cool. And why don't more
Look,
cars...
it's that small that he could hold it in one hand.
Wow, that is small.
That is small.
Holy cow.
Wow.
What is he doing?
All right, yeah, so that's a good, but how much is it though? That's the thing. How much is it going to be?
I don't remember if they announced pricing, but I could probably look it up and see if they have said anything from the time.
What's it called?
The Moto Compacto.
Moto Compacto.
Something like that, yeah.
Moto Compacto. And what's the other thing?
While that is going, the other thing is... Wait, Paul, what was the other thing? I didn't get anything else.
He did the track.
The track. Oh.
Have you seen the track?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you seen it. Oh, for it.
It's emotional. It's a sport.
Have you found Brad yet?
No,
Paul.
I'm trying to find it.
It's in your message.
in my
How hard is it
DMs.
to find?
Obviously harder than I thought.
Come on,
Probably
man.
deleted it.
Probably did. I'm like the stupid kid. Alejandro.
Yeah, I don't know much about this track, but I just do know that
So I know a little more.
Okay.
So I want to talk about it a little bit. I don't know all the facts, but I know at least enough to talk a little bit about it.
Okay. No, while you figure that out, I got the price. You want to take a guess?
1,700.
Oh no, you're off.
45.
You're off.
Oh, so it's less?
No, it's more.
$995.
$900?
$995.
That's
Yes,
a
sir.
good price. That's not
Yes,
bad.
sir.
Serious?
I'm selling my.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
selling
said-
my
I told
bike
you
for
it's-
$900.
Well,
Somebody
there you
buy my. It's almost a full size.
Yeah.
I have the
Motorcycle.
biggest mini bike before you get to motorcycle, and it's old school chopper style.
And it says that it will be available to buy from participating Honda and Acura dealerships
Where
this
they will
November.
hike up the price. It won't be $900 anymore.
Oh boy.
Just like they always do.
I thought it was more than that. But,
You thought wrong.
well, anyways, that kid definitely contacted me, and I told him to go buy a 350Z.
He said he wanted an E30.
I know.
Was buying a 350Z.
I said, you really...
It's like the same thing, man. 2 doors, 4 wheels. It's got a 3 and a 0 in the number. Pretty close.
So E350.
E350.
E350. Hi.
It's a Z350. No. So, no, I think he ended up asking, he's saying that. So I'm like, dude, this car is not for some kid with no garage and no... You need to buy a car.
Yours isn't.
No, it doesn't. Okay, mine isn't, yes. But no E30 really is. It's a tinker.
Unless you have $18,000 to spend on one. That's like
Yeah,
clean
somebody
and
that
done.
really
It's like
worked
mint
on
condition,
it.
yeah.
But
Anyways.
still, you're gonna have problems.
What's the other thing? The track. What's this other track
So,
we're talking? This
the-
track.
What's the
you
deal with
speak
the
of.
track?
What's the deal with the track?
I sent you
What
the
track?
link.
What's the deal with
No,
the track?
you
You
didn't-
didn't send him anything.
I did. I said
You didn't send it.
I
He
sent
didn't get
I
it.
sent the profile.
He didn't get the profile.
No, the only profile you sent me was Rory.
Was the Rare?
Come on, Paul.
Oh shoot, I did. You're right. Hold on.
Oh, he's actually wrong. You know, he
Yeah,
does
look
that
up-
often. He
look
did-
up,
yeah, I found it already. Well, is this
Okay.
it right here? The one you're talking about?
Yep, that's it. Okay.
Okay.
What is this?
Hang on.
So,
let me pull it. Yeah, go
It's
ahead.
pretty cool.
Is this where is this located?
It's not here. Okay. So,
Well, you lost me.
yeah, I know. We lost you. So, you have this. This is on the.
Yes, sir.
So this family basically sold everything they had, and the mom, the dad, the son, like the brother or something like that, sold all their houses and just took all that money and bought land in Alabama somewhere or something like that and built a track. Like they basically copied one of the Japanese
Really?
tracks and built it in Alabama or some state.
Well, at least they picked a spot that is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's definitely in the middle of nowhere. But it's,
Maybe they're seeing the drift mansion stuff take off.
and well, yeah, I think that's what it was. Maybe it could be that they're gonna have their houses on the property.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But yeah, it looks like they're having their event, $250 a driver.
Well,
but the kind of thing
houses.
that they were supposed to, they wanted to do like style type events. So like like Jay-Z only stuff and that type of stuff.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
So that there's the land, there's the layout. Yeah, and so it's called Driven Luck.
What track is that? That's
It's called Driven Luck.
No, but what is it? They mimicked what track?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it Ibiza? No.
I don't know what track you can see there.
The track in Assetto.
Driven Luck. Oh, look at that. That's cool.
I'll have to check that out later.
Yeah. They do one of the videos right there.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what's going on. No videos live.
Chase Bays. Chase Bays is involved.
Yeah, Chase Bays came out there and thought it was crazy what they were doing. They were on the Circle of Drift podcast, kind of giving the story about it.
Well, that's the number one drift podcast in the world.
It is. So it's pretty crazy what they put into it to build a drift track, which I thought it was like, that's a lot of like faith. Like your mom, your dad, your brother, like everybody seemed to be like, let's go 110% into this.
And they made, hopefully it works out for them. Yeah. There's a lot I've seen that in the past, not in drifting and racing, but with families just getting together and just putting everything they got, and it works. Seen others where it doesn't, but I
hope it works out for them.
I do, absolutely.
They definitely put a lot into it.
Yeah.
But isn't there a saying where don't do business with family?
Well,
isn't there a reason for that?
There is, but it depends how you are with your family. I mean, I did it for a long time. It worked. But, that's a whole other story. Did it work? Did it really work? Or did we just survive? That's another question.
Yeah, it's
Well, I'll tell you one problem they have. They're allowing 350Zs to come on the course. So,
I think that right now they're just trying to get anybody out there.
Even the bottom of the barrel 350Zs.
Yeah. But here it is. It's $250 per driver, 20 driver cap. That's in a couple weeks, the first event.
So they're only allowing 20 drivers. So yeah, $250 per driver.
Well,
they're going to get a ton of seat time.
Yeah. 2 days. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody needs to talk to them a little bit. 20 drivers
for 2 days.
For 2 days, they're not going to have enough tires. They're going to be done the second day. They're going to be done the first.
They're going to be done the first
day. They're going to be completely done. So what do you do?
3 hours.
What are you going to do the second day? Have they ever run drifting events before?
I don't know.
Not to my knowledge. But a 20 driver cap is. But maybe they're just trying to start. Want to go in slow. Want to go full force right off the bat. So
yeah, we'll see.
So that rounds out, I think, everything that I was wanted to talk about.
Yeah. One final thing I wanted to mention is that Black Friday, OSW, is right around the corner, November 17th to the 19th, if I recall correctly, at Orlando Speed World. Be sure to follow OSW Drift on Instagram for more information on that. The reason why I'm bringing it up is that we, Drift Sessions, are going to be there taking part in the production of like what we've done for the other King of OSW competitions. And we hope you guys can tune in and check out what we got to offer.
And you might see this out there.
Really?
What?
Yes.
You're crazy.
What do you mean I'm crazy?
You're crazy.
The car drives. The car runs.
It moves.
No. All I have to... What do we really have left to do besides fit the front end?
Build the car.
Listen. The transmission's in, right? Put everything back together. The car is going to Bryce. Bryce is going to do the firewall for me. I already set it up with him. Take the car. Once the firewall's done, slap a windshield on it, take it to the dyno. What else do I really need to do? I'm just saying. So what else do I have to do?
It's gonna have problems. It's not just.
Well, it's not about doing the competition. It's about going out there and doing a couple test runs.
Just go drive it down the street.
I'm not drifting the car on the street.
No, not drifted on the street, but
like I said, it's a test run. Once I get this on the dyno, after it leaves Bryce's shop, it's going to the dyno. The only reason why it hasn't been on dyno already is because the car was freaking vibrating like crazy because the flywheel is
Take it up to the compound and just do a couple.
I'm not driving all the way up to the compound without taking it to the dyno. I'd rather take it to the skid pad.
Take it to the dyno.
Why would I not want to take it to a skid pad and just do a couple laps? That makes more sense than going all the way up to the. That makes no sense.
Okay.
Why don't you guys? Why do you guys?
I don't have to side with Paul on this one.
I don't need side windows. I don't need back windows.
I've been looking at this for the past like almost 2 hours.
But you saw it drive around the block twice.
I did.
And had it not been vibrating, I got those issues taken care of. That's the only thing that's the only reason this hasn't been on the dyno already is because it vibrated like crazy because the flywheel was off balance. Now I got that sorted out. I got a new flywheel kit in there. Transmission's in. Tomorrow I'm going to be working on it, put it all back together. It should go back on the ground tomorrow. And then it's going to go to Bryce's shop. He's going to do the firewalls and a couple other things for me. Then it goes to the dyno. What is like?
No, it's just.
I mean, sure, yes, sure.
Oh, you guys are.
I don't know. I just don't see it.
It's the Twisted Tea talking.
What don't you see? I mean, I don't need a body kit on it.
He's got Twisted Tea goggles right on right now. It's like that chick that's like you're like.
What are you talking about?
She looks great. What are you talking about?
She looks beautiful.
She looks beautiful.
The reason is that with the amount of work that still needs to be done and the lack of time that you have.
What's the amount of work that needs to be done?
I just don't.
What's the amount of work that needs to be done?
I mean, in its current state, will it pass tech?
No, because it's going to go to Bryce, and then once I have a cutout, I have a kill switch, I have a fire suppression system already installed in there.
Okay.
I mean, I need a windshield, but that's not like we're not talking like it takes weeks to put a windshield in. It goes to Bryce, the firewall gets put in. After it leaves Bryce, it'll be tech approved. I have. What are you talking about?
Build your firewall out of Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea cans. That's a great idea. Twisted Tea cans for my firewall.
Pat would love that. Pat would think that's just do it like scales.
Scales like scales.
Like just peel the cans. It's just Twisted Tea scales.
I don't know. Look, I got review mirrors. What are you talking about? I don't understand.
Just build everything out of Twisted Tea cans. Just the radiator shroud. Your over fenders.
Everything, yeah.
I gotta say, I think that's honestly one of the best ideas you come up with, Paul. I am 100% behind it. Let's make this happen. I don't know how many cans we're gonna need, but I think Tim, you need to start drinking already, all right? All right, we just gotta work on the supplies. You gotta work on consuming it.
Consuming,
right?
Okay, got it.
You gotta empty up those cans if you want to build that firewall on time. All right.
Yeah, just bring boxes and boxes.
Bring the
boxes to Bryce's.
Here you go, Bryce. I want you to use these to make that firewall.
I tell you what, if we don't do that, I'm gonna have I'm gonna have it printed for your firewall on the back. You're
gonna get vinyl printed.
Vinyl printed Twisted Tea.
You gotta get little ones. Like it looks like all cans.
Oh no, I don't think about that, but yeah, maybe
just repetitive. You just make it like
Anywho, all right. We'll catch you next week. Well, not next week. 2 weeks from now. It should be nothing in between, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just Gabby, but we won't be there. Gabby competes 2 weeks from now.
Oh, that's right.
So we'll be talking the day before the competition then.
Yeah, that's fine. We're not going to be going anyways.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Immediately you're like,
no. I had enough fun.
Okay. Well, good luck to Gabby.
Good luck to Gabby.
Good luck to Gabby.
He'll not leak any fuel. He's actually going to be using my front wheels now. He's going to be using the 8.5s for my car.
You're going to let him borrow them?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, he's like, well, can I borrow yours to fit them to see if I want to buy 8.5s? I'm like, dude, that car's not being done like for another 3 years, so you can just use them. So just use them, and then when I need them,
just put new tires on them.
Yeah, I told him. Well, he wants to put new tires on them anyways because he's like, yours are all cut up. I'm like, it's fine. You'll be fine. You don't need grip front. So he's gonna put new tires on them anyways. But he's gonna be running the 8.5s now, so that way he won't have any.
It'll lighten up the steering too.
It'll lighten up the steering. It should make he won't have any binding issues and anything like that. So should be hopefully better this round.
Hey, he qualified this time.
He qualified.
He's beat every time.
He got a bye run.
He got a bye
Beat
run.
that bye guy.
On that note, let's end.